Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Abdul Nazi, and today we're going to do some review on Module 1. So Module 1 has 2 units, 1 and 2. So page 28 to 29 and also 30. So the first part of the review for today, guys, is vocabulary. So before we go into like answering the questions, we have to read the question very carefully. So we won't answer the questions like incorrectly. So choose the word or the phrase that most appropriately complete the sentences. So here, so once you read the questions, then you will understand all the answers. So all these questions about vocabulary, guys. So there is nothing to do with the grammar. So it's all about vocabulary. So you have to read each sentence or each questions to understand the context, and then you will be able to choose the best or the suitable choice to complete the sentence. So let's check the first one. The first one says, scientists from all over the globe use this lab because it has space technology. So we have A, up to date, B, out of the ordinary, C, convenient, D, additional. So I think the answer here would be up to date technology. Number 2, the competition is for space artists rather than well-known ones. So here notorious, it's not related. So established, not established. Comprehensive, no. So the answer here is emerging. Number 3, you cannot use the machine. I'm afraid it's out. So A, fashion, B, order, C, shape, and then D, practice. So usually, so when something is not working, then we will call it like out of order, out of order. Number 4, if you have some extra money, set aside, you should space in the stock market. So when you have money, like earn, so earn means like getting money. So you already have the money. So invest means like spending your money in order to do some business, and then gain and win. So the answer here would be invest. Number 5, they're offering space $50,000 for information on the bank robbers. So income, salary, payment. So this is a reward, جائزة للي يبلغ أو عن السارق. Number 6, I always use a dictionary to look up the space of unknown words. So here, artifact, etymology, knowledge, creativity. So here almost the answer would be B. Number 7, I was relieved when the doctor told me that my blood pressure was common, شائع, natural, طبيعي, typical, and then normal. So normal here would be the answer. Number 8, I really like the book because the main character, artist, author, reporter had a similar personality to me. So the answer here, character, اللي هو الشخصية. Number 9, the space of the novel was very confusing and hard to follow. So theme, set, plot, history. So the answer here would be plot, الحبكة. It was easy to see that Oliver had a very space knowledge of international affairs. So here, medieval, so primary, priceless. So here the answer would be limited. So this is all about the vocabulary part, guys. So you have to read the question very carefully. لابد أن تقرأ وتفهم النص اللي أمامك حتى تختار الكلمة المناسبة. Then we will move to the second part, which is about grammar. So choose the word or the phrase that produces a grammatically correct sentence. So here the questions are so they're mixed between the grammar from Unit 1 and the grammar Unit 2. So هنا القواعد مأخوذة من الوحدة الأولى والوحدة الثانية. So number 1 says Tony was walking to his boss, had just returned from his trip. So to answer this, probably the answer here who, because it's an adjective clause, so who related to Tony. So you can, when if you separated the two sentences, you can say Tony was talking to his boss and then full stop, and then he had just returned from a trip abroad. So, and then it can be another sentence, but when you use the adjective clause, you don't have to write you don't have to do more than a sentence. You can put two sentences together. Number 2, you space Kate before she found out. Now it's too late. So هنا الإجابة would be you should have told, because now it's too late, and then Kate already found out about whatever. So, and then here we should we use the past or the present perfect symbol. Number 3, stop pretending to be confused. You're smart enough. What I am thinking about. So here, understand, understanding, having understood. So the answer here would be to understand. Emily couldn't help, let's say space, that the long walk had exhausted her grandmother. So here, to notice, or let's say notice, or noticing. So noticing. Gerund, here it's gerund. Two verbs, one comes after the another one, so the another one would be, we add ing to the another one. So number 5, you space change out of your wet clothes, otherwise you will catch a cold. So here, you had better. You had better. Number 6, the hotel space I stayed in was very comfortable. So this is which adjective clause? Number 7, the book here by Al-Mar'i is definitely worth reading. So here, written. Number 8, Ibrahim claims Rafael Nadal's best friend. Obviously, no one believed him to be. Number 9, after a series of arguments last year, they stopped talking to each other. Stop talking. Again, two verbs comes after another. The other one, we add ing, نضيف ing للفعل الثاني. You space Colin driving a red Porsche. He doesn't know how to drive. So you must so this is the answer. You cannot have seen Colin driving a red Porsche. He doesn't know how to drive. Now, so this is all about the grammar. So once you try to answer this kind of questions, you have to be aware of the tense and the context. So this is different from the vocabulary, guys. هذا يختلف عن الفوكاب. grammar تركز على الزمن وعن تحاول تفهم لما تعرف الزمن. When you know the tense, you will be able to answer the question. So now question C, complete the sentence, the second sentence to that it has a similar meaning to the first, using the word given. Do not change the word given. You must use between 2 and 5 words, including the word given. So now you have sentences from 1 to 8. You have to let's say rewrite them again using the word given, and then be careful not to add more than 5 words, including these. So هنا الآن أبغاك تعيد صياغة تكتب الجملة بطريقة أخرى بحيث أنك حافظ على نفس المعنى وتستخدم الكلمات هذه ولا تزيد عن 5 كلمات. So let's check the first one. She cannot wait for her holiday to begin in 4 weeks' time. So here we have forward. So she is looking forward to her holiday in 4 weeks' time. So it has the same meaning, but written in different way. مكتوبة بطريقة أخرى. So you can say like paraphrase. Number 2, we couldn't go camping last weekend because it was very wet. Prevented. So here the word prevented. So the wet weather prevented us from going camping last weekend. Number 3, the wedding dress was supposed to be ready yesterday. So the dress wedding, so we have ought to, so it can be like ought to have been ready. So number 4, my father works in the office block. So we have like where. That's the office block where my father works. Number 5, the famous architect Frank Lloyd Wright designed this house, and it's a magnificent house. So by, we use by. So let's say this house was which designed by a famous architect, and then the rest of the sentence. Number 6, the accused man said that he had not stolen the car. So we have denied. Denied means anchor, so we need to use denied. The accused man denied stealing, having stolen the car. Number 7, Mr. Howard is a lawyer. And his son works in a bank. So here, Mr. Howard, and then whose. So when you use adjective clause and you have like his, it becomes whose. Whose son works in a bank is a lawyer. Number 8, only people who have a special pass will be allowed to enter. So here having. People who not having a special pass will not be allowed to enter. So this is all about this question. So again, you have to read the questions very carefully, because ضروري انك تفهم السؤال. إذا ما فهمت السؤال راح تتلخبط في الإجابة. Now, question D, read the text, complete the blanks with the correct form of the word in the capital. So we have list of words in capital. We need to read the text, and then we will decide which part of a speech will be, and then we change the part of speech for the word. So for example, the installation art describes the type of the art a three-dimensional space. So we have require, so it would be like requirement. So this is a noun. Now it becomes a noun. Is that the artwork transforms the space it's presented in. So it's the genre that has changed the definition of what we usually consider art. So this is again noun. Exhibits can be permanent or temporary, and they can appear in galleries, but sometimes also in public space. Installation art doesn't involve only visual stimulate. So here, let's say stimulation. The view, here a noun, often has to use different senses at once, not only sight but hearing, smell and touch, making the whole experience more. So here we have two. So this would be the viewer, and here interactive, and here now adjective. So all these are noun. This is adjective. So some installation art uses videos, and sound can be very informative, whereas other work can be quiet, enjoyable. So let's continue. Among many cities in the world that pioneer in the installation art, Jeddah stands out as a fascinating open-air museum which features countless creation by installation artists all over the city. Among the biggest names in the installation art, we must mention that renowned Saudi artist Abdel Nasser Gharim, who created a magnificent installation called Message Messengers, which was sold for almost $850,000. Another significant artist is the Belgian Gaston Huller, who created 5 large metal slides that people could slide down for free at the Tate Modern. Equally significant is the Danish artist Olfur Eliasson, who installed a glowing sun in the huge turbine hall with a mirror covering the ceiling where visitors, so this is a noun, could see their tiny black shadows against the yellow light. The room was also filled with a mist combination of sugar and water and those visiting responded to the work by laying on the floor and looking up themselves. So this is about, you have to read and then you decide which part of a speech this word can be and then do what it takes. The last part for today, guys, is the listening part. So you will hear an interview about a nature of art featuring a representative of an organization called the Truth in Art Society and an artist. Replay. For questions 1 to 6, choose the best answer, A, B, or C. So here, the last part for today, guys, you have to read the questions before you listen, and then once you finish reading the questions and understand them, so then you can play the recorder and try to answer the questions. So let's listen together.
Module 1, Roundup. You will hear a radio interview about the nature of art, featuring a representative of an organisation called the Truth in Art Society and an artist, Ripley. For questions 1 to 6, choose the best answer, A, B, or C.
Good evening, listeners. It's time for your daily dose of the Harland Show, the show that gets you talking. With us tonight, we have Maurice Farnsworth of the Truth in Art Society and the young artist Ripley. As I'm sure you're all aware, Ripley's latest works are currently being exhibited at the Waterman Gallery and causing quite a stir. In fact, some people are seeing red. Isn't that right, Mr. Farnsworth?
Yes, exactly right, Harland. The Truth in Art Society, which works to promote art and culture, strongly disapproves of Mr. Ripley's artworks, if you can call them that.
Ripley, would you like to describe your exhibition to our listeners? Give them an idea of what all the fuss is about?
I'm not quite sure what all the fuss is about either. My current exhibition is called The Modern Caveman and consists of a number of sketches, drawings and paintings that resemble cave paintings. But the theme is life in the modern world. So, for example, one of the cave paintings shows a man talking on his mobile phone.
Yes, and it's absolutely ridiculous. You're exhibiting a collection of cartoon strips, in my opinion, Mr. Ripley. Nothing more than silly stick figures using a computer. Is that really art?
Good question. How would you classify your works of art, Ripley? Are you an artist in the traditional sense?
Yes, I am, because I offer the public my own perspective on the world. That's what artists are supposed to do. I like using different mediums, and I have produced a number of works ranging from paintings and wood carvings to sculptures and pottery in the past. Right now, I classify myself as a painter, but I think labels and definitions are so limiting.
Who would you say are your influences, Ripley?
Rudolf Munch, who is famous for his papier-mâché sculptures, is my mentor and probably my greatest influence. Philosophy is also a tremendous inspiration. You know, philosophy really encourages the creative process.
Creative process? My foot. Any fool could come up with the things you do. Picasso, Matisse, Michelangelo, those were great artists. After visiting your exhibition, I was shocked. I've seen more impressive artwork at my niece's nursery school, and I'm very surprised that the Waterman Gallery, where more conservative pieces of art are usually exhibited, actually gave your collection the green light.
Any comments, Ripley?
The people at the Waterman know good art when they see it. The modern caveman compares the modern world with the primitive world. You're just jealous of my unique vision, Mr. Farnsworth.
Yes, jealous. I'm positively green with envy. That's exactly what it is.
Look, art is a form of self-expression, Farnsworth. There aren't any rules. Do you really think that you and your society can define art, can succeed where great thinkers and philosophers have failed?
You know, Harland, I could talk till I'm blue in the face, but it won't do any good. This man, who is obviously extremely full of himself, will never understand my point of view, and...
Have to stop you there, I'm afraid, Mr. Farnsworth. It's time for a commercial break.
So now you have just listened to the dialogue, so let's answer the questions. So number one, what does Farnsworth think of Ripley's art? So collection of cartoons, and that strips, in my opinion, so is that really art? So here the answer would be 8. Shouldn't be considered art. Number 2, what can you see in Ripley's exhibition? So drawing and painting. So my current exhibition is called the Museum Caveman and consists of number of sketches, drawings and paintings. Number 3, why does Ripley consider himself to be an artist? Because he likes making traditional paintings, because he uses many different mediums, because he reveals his view of the world through art. So here, yes, I am, because I offer the public my own perspective. So the answer here would be C. Number 4, who is Rudolf Monk, a sculptor? Number 5, what does Farnsworth think about the Waterman Gallery? So he thought, he didn't expect it. So the last one for today is, what does Ripley think about the Farnsworth opinion? So do you really think that you and your society can define art, can succeed where great thinkers and philosophers have failed? So the answer is A. So thank you for your watching and enjoy the rest of the day.